Ira Epstein with your morning flash update, and this update is for the morning of Monday, the 13th of January, 2025. All right, my friends, here we are, 8:30 a.m., a couple of minutes late. Stock market all coming down. Again, interest rate fears. More controls on NVIDIA, hurting the NASDAQ. Orders being pulled from NVIDIA orders. I was surprised to hear that, but that is going on. We put on sanctions, the United States did, on Russian oil. That keeps lifting the oil prices at this point. Bonds and notes are stable, but they're near, 4.7, 4.8% in the 10-year. Very strong numbers, spooking the markets. We get PPI, CPI, bank earnings this week. So that's going to be a huge set of events that happens. A week from today, the Trump administration, Mr. Trump, comes into power. And with that, he is threatening to sign up to 100 bills right away. I don't know what right away means, but I'm assuming within days. Border, as you can imagine, is going to be there. What has he got in store for Ukraine? What does he have in store for Russia? Mexico, China, the tariffs, what gets known, what doesn't get known, how does it apply into the metal markets? With gold down 28 today, silver is actually down $1 an ounce. This is a little bounce. It was down over $1. Copper market just about unchanged, but platinum down. Again, we're also waiting on China. China keeps talking about, oh, they're going to stabilize the yuan. That is not the case. Where they stabilize, it could be 7.3, 7.4, 7.5, because their way to counter the Trump tariffs when they come is to allow their currency to fall more. And if you looked at their trade surplus, you see all those numbers. I write about it this morning in my newsletter. Then we've got the foreign currency market that it keeps watching the dollar, which finally hit the 110 level. I gave you an upside objective of mine that was in the 109.80 level, and boy, we hit it finally, got there. And that's putting pressure to potentially take the euro over time, I don't think right now, but over time, down to parity versus the dollar. And the British pound, I was reading how option traders are positioning themselves. They're looking for another 8% drop from here. So we'll see if that can happen with the marketplace or not. When we look at the grain market, there were surprises in Friday's USDA report, with both the corn and the soybeans ending up with less corn and beans in storage than the market thought, giving the market a boost at a time when countries that find that South America is sold out, they buy from the U.S. at this point. But with the dollar as strong as it is, how much will they buy? I mean, you got to temper all this and understand just where you're at. So there's a lot to talk about, a lot going to happen here, and you have to turn your attention, not today, but it all begins tomorrow with these government reports that come out. Today's the day before the event. I want to remind you, we write about this and a lot more. Let me get to this if it'll come up. There we go, I think. Just doesn't, there we are with it. All right, we write about all this. Like, example, how are you going to take into account the fires in California? You got to take it in the financial markets. They're going to start talking very quickly about, oh, we'll do our CPI, PPI, and service sector numbers ex-California. It's a guarantee you're going to hear talk about that. We did that when we saw the hurricanes this past summer. Do you remember that? And then for weeks on end, we were wondering the impact, the labor, the numbers, who wasn't working. Can you imagine what you've got with 180,000 people that are on the run? How many aren't working right now? What about the homes? But the other side of this is the rebuilding. That's going to create a boon for the area once we get past the fire stage. So there's a yin-yang to everything, and those are the things you got to watch. And your glass is either half empty or half full. Remember that. Go to iraepstein.com for your free offers. That's where you get all this information. iraepstein.com. Go to the free offers on the top left. If you move your cursor to the top up here, there is an icon. Give that a click, and you can sign up there for all the offers that we have. In the meantime, I'll catch up with you at the end of the day with our market wrap-ups. You have a great trading day. See you then.